Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all doing really well. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've honestly had requested by some of you guys for over a year, but the reason that I hadn't really made a video on it was because I felt like there were a lot of other really well done videos on the topic already, so I felt like it just wouldn't make sense for me to make a video on it. The videos that I mean and would definitely recommend checking out are Tiffany Ferg's I'm Not Like Other Girls video, Jordan Teresa's I'm Not Like the Other Girls video, and Tara Mooney's Rise of the Pick Me Girl meme. If you haven't checked those videos out, I would definitely recommend them if you're going on a little bit of an I'm Not Like Other Girls content binge. The recent development, or I guess you could also call it a transformation of the I'm Not Like Other Girls trend, phenomenon, whatever the hell you want to call it, has really inspired me to finally make a video on the topic. And that topic is the I'm Not Like Other Girls topic. If I say topic one more time, but in terms of this video, it's gonna be I'm Not Like Other Girls, but with a bit of a twist. For the sake of this video feeling more complete in my head, I am gonna be talking about the original I'm Not Like Other Girls trend and then moving on into the new era of it, which is brought to us by TikTok, because of course it is. I will be leaving timestamps down below if you want to just jump to the new era or if you just want to jump around the video in general. Before we jump into it though, I did want to give a quick shout out to Skillshare, who sponsored today's video. If you haven't heard of them before, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people, where you can explore new skills, develop existing interests, or just get lost in creativity if you'd like. One of my personal favorite Skillshare classes is by Ali Abdal, and it's called Principles and Tools to Boost Your Productivity. In the past, I've been pretty good at being and staying productive, but this past year, I just don't know how to be productive anymore, and I didn't really have any tools to know how to get back into a productive state because I'd never been this unproductive in my life. What I really liked about this class was that he wasn't just sitting there throwing one-off tips at you and app recommendations. Like, he really delved into what productivity is and how it reflects your internal habits and how to get into a state and routine where productivity just comes naturally to you. He also has this analogy about a pilot, plane, and engineer, which continues to stick with me since the first time that I heard it, because it really helps make a difference in the way that you tackle things. I also really like how they break up their courses into different sessions so that even if you only have a few minutes during the day, that's still enough time to watch a session and learn something new. And it's also nice if you're interested in any of their artistic classes, because it makes it a lot easier to get back into drawing or painting when you start out by setting aside just a few minutes a day by following along with one of their sessions. In general though, creative challenges and productivity are a great way to help you structure your time and set up achievable goals. And Skillshare offers membership with meaning, where you can connect with the support of fellow creatives and enter a community of encouragement, communication, and inspiration. So whether you're looking to fend off boredom, focus on self-growth through creativity, or you just want to find a similarly creative community, Skillshare is the place to keep you learning. If you want to check it out for yourself, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box will get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership, and after that it's only around $10 a month. If you're interested, I would definitely check that out, but otherwise, let's jump into the video, and thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the easiest way to describe I'm Not Like Other Girls is just the female version of that Jughead scene from Riverdale. I don't fit in. And I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird. I do wish that I was a little bit more embarrassed that I know that scene off by heart, but I kind of see it as a party trick now. It basically covers girls who don't feel like they fit into whatever is popular or on trend for women, and that can be traced back decades, which means that the people who consider themselves not like other girls changes as frequently as the group of women that are considered on trend and popular. Regardless of whatever era we're talking about here, these women take pride in the fact that they're different to the point where they feel like they're better than the women who do fit into whatever's popular or on trend at that moment. And the umbrella of unpopular things and traits that I'm Not Like Other Girls can be based on is honestly endless. It can be not liking a popular trend, or not subscribing to current popular beliefs involving relationships or sex, or just about anything under the sun at this point. Some of my personal favorites, which are brought to you by one of my favorite subreddits, which is r/I'm Not Like Other Girls, are photos like these, which just say other girls, makeup fingers from like swatches, me, Cheeto fingers. I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, but there is something about Cheeto dust on fingers that just visually is like the equivalent of nails on a chalkboard. Like, if someone touched me with Cheeto dust on their fingers, I'm pretty sure I would just simply perish on the spot. But back to this photo in general, this just makes no fucking sense at all. I understand the first girl because she's just swatching the makeup to see what it looks like on her skin instead of just in the pan. But the second girl, why does this photo exist? It's like if you realized that you had food on your mouth and instead of wiping it away with a napkin, you proceeded to take a selfie and then posted it on Facebook. Not all girls are made of sugar and everything nice. Some are made of adventure, dark chocolate, intelligence, cuss words, and courage. One of these is definitely not like the other. I do wonder how specific they are about the dark chocolate thing. Like, if I eat 40%, am I in? Or is it like a 70% and up kind of situation? Because if so, I am not interested in joining anymore because that is literally dehydrated dog shit. I do think this one is my personal favorite though. Other girls, it's a girl sitting in a shoe closet. Me, silly chicken. The correlation, of course, is very obvious. The more shoes that you own, the more other girls' energy that you radiate. Versus if we look at exhibit B, the more chickens that you surround yourself with to take a photo of, the more me you are. Simple math. This last one though is definitely a lot more common because it kind of feeds into that like, I'm a guy's girl mentality. Fuck being wined and dined. I just want someone to drink beer in a blanket fort with me while we talk about some weird ass shit. You know what? She's actually kind of right. There is nothing like drinking warm piss under a pile of blankets while talking about weird ass shit like dark chocolate and chickens. And I say nothing like because nobody has done anything close to this. So clearly some very interesting stuff going on in the I'm not like other girls corner of the internet. And the I'm not like other girls idea isn't always something that exists just on its own. Popular pairing is with the pick-me girl trend where they'll claim that they're not like other girls in an effort to get male attention, and those honestly go together like wine and cheese. But that doesn't mean that every I'm not like other girls girl is gonna appear the way that you picture a pick-me girl to look or act. What I find most interesting about the I'm not like other girls trend though is that it started off as a group of women who felt like they were different from other women because they didn't fit into that like feminine traditional female role. But today, any girl, no matter what genre she falls into, has the capacity to feel like she's not like other girls. We're gonna look at that more in a few minutes, but before we jump down that rabbit hole, I wanna look at how the current I'm not like other girls narrative fell off. You don't see nearly as many girls shouting from the rooftops that they're different from everybody else as you used to. Why? The answer to that would be digital clowning. A little Hong Kong, if you will. There's tons of it online now with people clowning women who try to separate themselves from the rest of us for insert whatever definitely not unique opinion or personality trait. Maybe they think they're not like other girls because they want to wait till marriage, or I don't know, they think liking rock music makes them different. Like, for crying out loud, this sounds ridiculous, which is exactly why people love poking fun at it so much. Because trying to parade yourself around as different from other girls is now seen as a bad thing and something to make fun of, it's allowed a lot of people to step back and realize, wow, it's kind of ridiculous that I used to think I was different and special just because I didn't like the color pink. But this does raise a lot of questions. Why did it take so much for this opinion to fall off? Why did we quite literally have to bully the internalized misogyny out of women online? And how in some cases has even that not worked? Why don't we want to be like other girls? I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that anything a woman enjoys comes with some sort of baggage. Quite literally anything a girl finds enjoyment in is either labeled cringe, basic, try hard, etc., etc. If you're a girl who likes Starbucks and pop music, you're basic. If you're a girl who enjoys smaller artists and like to read, you're a quirky tryhard. If you enjoy video games, you're obviously just a bruh girl trying to impress men. But somehow, even if you're the complete opposite of that, and maybe you're more feminine, and you like dresses and the color pink, God forbid, then you're still a tryhard and you're still looking for male attention. And even if your personality and interests are kind of a mishmash of all the examples together, like all blended up, you're still gonna be labeled with all of the negative things associated with them. This mentality is so ingrained in not just men, but also women, because we believe it about other women, we just don't believe it about ourselves. And I think that's where it all comes from. I'm not like other girls, I'm the exception. And the reason initially why we feel like the exception isn't because we feel like we're better than other people, it's just because we know why we're interested in something. Like obviously I know that if I enjoy listening to smaller artists and like to read, I know that I'm not being a tryhard or trying to be quirky because I'm doing those things for myself. I'm the one doing it. I know why I'm doing it. But that whole mentality that women can't enjoy things without there being some sort of ulterior motive, whether that's trying to impress men or seem quirky or different, has been so drilled into our heads that while we don't believe it about ourselves, we believe it about other women who like different things than us, or even the same things. Trying to explain this is where I feel like I'm not like other girls starts to reveal itself as a mentality that doesn't just show up as those Exhibit A, Exhibit B comparison examples that we always see online. Those are the easiest to catch, of course, course, because they shove it right in your face, but I think it can also come in more subtle forms too, because the root of I'm not like other girls is just exclaiming that you're different.
I'm not like those girls. I actually enjoy the things I say I enjoy, and the interests I have are obviously for myself.
But we never bother to consider that maybe that's the mentality of the other girls too. And the thing is, every woman goes through this phase where she realizes, oh shit, if I'm doing this because I find personal enjoyment in it and I'm not trying to impress anybody, then why is it so hard for me to believe that that's the same situation for other girls? I remember as a kid, I used to think that I was so different because I read books. I thought I was different because I read and thought that that made me different from everybody else around me who probably also read. Like, can grade for me please relax? Hello. If you're wondering why I'm here in, I think like 120p right now, basically the original clip that I had, while I was filming, I just greatly underestimated how much my mic would pick up the construction that was going on. So the audio was absolute garbage, so I'm here to just pick up past me's slack. But what I wanted to say here was, can I even blame grade for me for thinking this way when every book that I read, I was put into the shoes perspective-wise of this girl who was different from everyone else because she was independent and she didn't care about men or looks and only cared about being like strong and smart, and any other girl in the story that didn't care about those things was just seen as like a dumb bimbo. Tropes that are still popular in books to this day. We can't even blame young women for going through this phase at least once in their lives, because every single genre of entertainment that we grow up with either celebrates or idolizes these different quirky girls who are different from every other girl in school. I asked some of you guys on Twitter for some suggestions of characters from movies or TV shows that you felt fit in that mold, and there were tons of names thrown around. There was Rory from Gilmore Girls, Jess from New Girl, Lindsay from Freaks and Geeks, Molly Ringwald from 16 Candles, the Riverdale Girls, and Demi Lovato in literally anything. The examples are honestly endless, and that's pretty concerning when you have an entire generation of young girls idolizing these women who are walking I'm not like other girls poster girls, growing up thinking that their individuality has to come at the cost of generalizing every other girl on the planet in the worst light possible. So can we blame women for feeling like they have to separate themselves from other women and put them down in a society where we've generalized billions of people, put them in genres, and then told them regardless of the genre, you're either cringe, try hard, or trying to get male attention? No, but we also shouldn't encourage it. And thank God for the internet deciding that it's cringe to not be like other girls, but that's the resolution for my generation. What's going on with younger girls on newer platforms? Allow me to welcome you to the new generation of I'm Not Like Other Girls, which is of course sponsored by our favorite app TikTok, and apparently everybody's new obsession with being the girl that every other girl hates. If you haven't seen this trend before, you might be a bit confused right now, but allow me to explain. Essentially, a new TikTok trend has been gaining a lot of traction in the past year, and it's called the introduce yourself as the reason girls hate you trend. And this trend radiates I'm not like other girls energy to a degree that I've not seen since 2012 Tumblr, which is extremely concerning. If I'm being honest though, the toxicity of TikTok as a platform is something I have not seen in a while, and I'm specifically talking about the comment section. Of course, I'm not sitting here claiming that any social media app isn't toxic, they all are, but I don't know if it's because TikTok's a new app, but just the volume of snarky, rude comments on the most innocent videos is unparalleled to any app. And it's kind of gross, especially considering a lot of the people leaving these comments are clearly teenagers who think that it's just a personality trait to be obscenely rude and mean. And it can be men hating on men, women hating on women, women hating on men, or men hating on women. So am I entirely surprised that TikTok was the breeding ground for the new evolution of I'm Not Like Other Girls? No, not at all. Back to the trend itself, the similarity between I'm Not Like Other Girls and introducing yourself as why girls hate you is again separating yourself from other women and taking this weird sense of pride in how apparently other girls don't like you for insert whatever reason. There's some pretty linear examples here, like girls hate me because I have a lot of guy friends, sounding a lot like I only have guy friends because girls are too much drama, where the unspoken message here is that they're different from other girls because girls hate them. So it's a trend where they're still separating themselves from other girls, but it's just done in a different way, where now the other girls are painted as jealous and hateful because they aren't you. It's turned the victim complex tone of not being like other girls and suffering from it to playing this like borderline villain-esque character where you pretend to get off on all these imaginary women hating you. Definitely not the upgrade to I'm not like other girls that we wanted to see. I have to say though, some of these examples I found while I was going through the like sound on TikTok felt so ridiculous that I'm pretty sure they're trolling. Girls will do this trend and then they'll introduce themselves as a trait that women usually celebrate or lust after, not hate you for. It just feels like everyone's so obsessed with living rent-free in people's heads that they don't even really consider that at the end of the day, nobody actually gives a shit because they're all too concerned about themselves. So TikTok's clearly spawning an uglier, nastier version of I'm not like other girls, but what do we do about it? Do we just start clowning again? I mean, it worked for our generation, but I think if anything, it kind of shows that that isn't a solution that kind of hits every single generation. Like, it's not widespread. And I don't think the resolution is like cyberbullying a 5-year-old before they start having I'm not like other girls thoughts. What's really needed is a shift in the way that we talk about women in stories and movies and just about anywhere else, quite frankly. If you look at the movies and books that have come out for teenagers these days versus the ones that came out when we were teenagers, there hasn't been that strong of a push against the whole I'm different than other girls trope. So it's not surprising that not only is the I'm not like other girls trend back for a younger generation of women, but it's come back with a more aggressive tone to compensate for the fact that the old stereotypes used to shame women aren't nearly as effective to use because the negative connotation around them online just isn't as strong. Hell, TikTok is where that whole main character thing came from. And what are most female main characters like in coming of age movies? Not like other girls. So there's just another generation of girls growing up and idolizing characters that think they have to shrink other women down to stereotypes that feel like they're different. The real solution I'm not like other girls is just to stop making girls feel like they're stupid or doing something to impress somebody just because they enjoy something. And for the media to drop the whole quirky different girl trope, unless they're gonna do it in a way where they show that you shouldn't aspire to be it or romanticize it. If girls don't feel like they have to automatically justify their interests, preferences, or choices based on their gender, or clarify why they're an individual, they're probably not gonna feel as driven to make it clear that they're not like other girls. Obviously, those aren't simple solutions, and I don't think they're gonna happen overnight. And if I'm being honest, I don't think we're ever gonna be able to truly erase the decades long of idolizing these female characters that have their own internalized misogyny to unpack. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I rewatch old movies all the time with these female characters that I used to idolize as a kid, and now I'm like, oh my god, you're such a pick-me. This is so embarrassing. Does it make the movie downright horrible and deserve to be thrown in a fire and never spoken about again? No, but if I knew a 10-year-old girl was watching it, I'd probably go up to her and be like, hey, just so you know, this girl is not as cool as you think she is, and you should not aspire to be like her. And we can make better books, movies, and content involving women that don't revolve around this obsession of being hated by or different than every other woman in the story. I think if there's one thing that I took away from making this video, it's that currently there is no girl who has been able to escape the grasp of an I'm not like other girls phase, no matter how short it was. So if you're willing, I'd love to hear about your phase down below in the comments if you're willing to share it, because I'm nosy. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video though. If you did, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And you can also turn my post notifications on and set it to all. Those things really help my channel out a lot. You can also check me out on Twitch where I live stream, or on Instagram and Twitter, which are both Casey Aonso. But otherwise, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. There is a dog outside that will not stop barking, and I am this close to losing my shit. I'm sitting on a garbage can right now and I cannot feel my legs. I'm playing a very dangerous game right now.